What up, guys? We're gonna get right into it today. Talking about the man of the hour. The guy's name is Olly Murs, and his transformation picture right here has taken the Twitter by to storm. And I've been spending way too much time, arguing with people about it. I'm gonna zoom out a little so it shows better here. I think the primary driver of the conversations obviously has been what women prefer, and I'm not gonna go into that so much. But what I've observed in all these conversations is that people perceive this physique way higher than what it actually is. There's talk that the guy is have to be super strict. Now, to be fair, it is a 12-week transformation, so obviously the guy had to be strict, but it's just 3 months of very strict dieting, so it doesn't take that much obsessive discipline to get to this level of leanness. And the people are like, oh, his testosterone levels are dropped already, and again, it's not the case. He's not that lean. He's lean, and this is a great transformation. Especially done 3 months is amazing, actually, but it's not that lean. The people's perception is so skewed. People are so fat that they see what a healthy guy should look like, and they think that's too lean. But it's not. This is not crazy lean. He still has fat here on the lower belly. He still has a little bit fat on the sides. The vascularity on the hands, nothing crazy. When I got my leanest, I had vascularity on the abs too. Now, to be fair, my genetics are such that I have vascularity in my arms of 25% body fat already. So I have the misfortune of just building veins instead of building muscle. But the point is that this doesn't take anything crazy. This is not like a bodybuilder who's stage ready or anything like that. He has a great physique, let's be fair. He has moderately high muscle mass, and he's lean, but this is still healthy level lean. Now, obviously, he could be acutely feeling little low energy from the diet itself, because he's been in a steep deficit. But if he resumes to maintenance calories at this physique, he'll be feeling just fine. He will have no hormonal issues at this body fat. Most people won't have. Obviously, it's individual. How low body fat you tolerate is different with different people. But I was way leaner than this before I started to really shut. My body started to suffer less energy and stuff like that. Of course, a lot of this stuff is people who don't have their fitness quite in check. They're coping with the fact that they have excess body fat, and part of that cope is perceiving just a normal physique like this. Again, the guy's results are great, but obviously if you can achieve it in 3 months, it's not that crazy in the end. And if you're willing to spend the time, if you're willing to take your time with the cut, you do not need to go even at that extreme deficit or extreme diet. You don't people put so much false narratives on this guy. You can't eat a meal that's offered to you because you're so you gotta be so strict that you can't eat anything and you have to live in the gym, and it doesn't take as much. It just shows that the normies have gone so far. They are so clueless about what is actually achievable. I even saw somebody accusing this guy of using steroids. Now, to be fair, you never know from the way a guy looks if he's on steroids or not. You could be the least impressive guy in the gym. The least impressive guy in your gym could be on steroids. He just doesn't respond to them that much and doesn't know how to lift, whatever. But this physique here, it's great, definitely great. But and then the transformation for 3 months, it's quite incredible. But again, it's not. It doesn't actually need steroids. It's when you just get leaner, your muscles look bigger. I don't think he has actually put on any muscle there. Like he just lost all the fat. Nothing is covering the muscle, so they pop more. So I don't know. I think I don't see any reason to think that the guy is on steroids. Obviously, if he's a rich guy, he's a famous guy, he would have access to steroids and easily. Obviously, and it's not that the steroids are that expensive anyway, but like he would have better access, obviously. But nothing about his physique screams to me that he's on steroids. So I believe that the guy is just natural, and I don't know how tall the guy is, but I'd argue his physique looks better with just like 3 months transformation than mine with 3 years work. So, but maybe the guy is shorter, so the like muscle mass immediately pops much more when you have a shorter frame. I don't know. Maybe that's just me coping, but yeah, I mean the like this. There's nothing like that incredible, and but people project and like it's just not a good picture of him. So there's a lot of women saying like, oh, we prefer this fat guy here. And that's another discussion that a lot of people have, like, okay, we prefer, like, this guy is not even fat. Like, a lot of people are arguing with me, like, oh, that guy is not fat. Well, I mean, he's not a total train wreck, I'll give you that. But, I mean, he is fat. Sorry, he has excess body fat. Like, see, that's the thing about, like, nowadays. It's like, if you get lean, people will immediately make comments about you being skinny. But if you're a little bit fat like this, nobody says anything. And I guess nobody even perceives that fat, but you understand that we've gotten 30 pounds bigger over the last 20 years. And that's not us being more muscular than we were before. That's just overfeeding and under exercising. So it's like we're too sedentary, and we have gotten 30 pounds fatter essentially. Now obviously this guy has some muscle mass here already. You can see he's already been, the picture is taken in the gym. He's already put in the work. He has already built muscle. So there's muscle under the fat. So he's not completely out of shape either. But I wouldn't call this fit. And there is definitely excess fat here. And the excess fat, like, it might not manifest in any kind of like clinical issue. It usually doesn't at this size, but there is already like subclinical insulin resistance, excess inflammation in the body. This is not a good place for your body to be. You're not gonna be as healthy as you could be. Your performance is not gonna be as good as it could be. And there's a reason, like there is the most athletes are lean. There's a reason they are not built like this guy. Now, okay, so a lot of people like to point out the heavyweight fighters. They are kind of fat, but that's a different. That's like a case where that extra performance that you could get from being leaner, it's not really worth the squeeze for those guys. And a lot of those guys also use their body weight, obviously, to attack the other guy. Like, use the weight itself on the other guy. So then it helps to actually have some excess fat. Like, okay, you have to carry it yourself, but if you put yourself on the other guy, they have to carry it too. So it's a strategic reason to be a little bit chubby. So yeah, I don't think like, and also like if it's fighting, it's not about pure athleticism. Fighting is about mental stuff. Fighting is about skill, timing, toughness. All kinds of stuff that's not related to your pure athleticism. So you can get away with not having ideal body fat composition in fighting, especially at heavyweight. Like, you weigh like 250 pounds. Who gives a fuck if you have 10 pounds extra fat? Nobody cares. Like, it's not going to affect your performance in any way. And as said, you can use it as a weapon. So that doesn't mean that this is the ideal, like, for your performance. Now, obviously, like, if you get like a lot of power lifters are soft, they get heavy. Having more body weight moves more weight, but that's just weightlifting. That's just ignoring all the other facets of athleticism, which is like moving your own body in space. Speed, agility, endurance. Those drop. And I noticed a pretty sharp drop. And incidentally, For me, that point is BMI 25. It's ironic that it hits right there where the back in the day they set the standards. Like if I get BMI 26, I'm not as fast anymore. My endurance is gonna suffer, and you know, I got a stress fracture too, like from the endurance training, because I'm heavier now. So there is like a real cost to your performance that comes from having this body fat. So yeah, and people obviously don't understand it because I'm getting argued that, but then it's obvious to me that everyone who argues with me, or most people who argue with me anyway, they don't understand anything actually about training. They are not actually training themselves. The only way you know what is too lean is if you have yourself gotten too lean, if you've gone through the process yourself. And as it turns out, the too lean is actually quite extremely lean. Like most people don't even have the psychological capability to go that lean because they're like, oh, I look too skinny already. Like they still feel fine, but they're like, oh, I don't like the mirror image already. Like I'm gonna stop cutting. I'm gonna go bulk now, and that's fair enough. You can do that, but don't say that this is too lean to be healthy. Like the only issue this guy probably is having is the acute issue. Like that there's two different things going on here. When you cut down, and especially if you cut down really fast like this guy, you are gonna be in like a quite significant deficit. So you're gonna have like nutrient deficiencies acutely caused by the cut itself. The fact that you're at this body fat does not cause any issues. It's by itself. So once you start eating normally again, and you get the nutrients in your body, you hit the maintenance calories, and you have no deficiencies anymore, you'll be still the same body fat, but you'll feel fine. Like the issues are from the cut itself, not from that being too lean. And now too lean is definitely it is a real concept that happens, but it is leaner than this. At least for most guys. Like, okay, some guys probably feel like depleted already. But I also would argue that a lot of guys who say that they didn't feel good when they cut down, it's that what I was just talking about, like acute effects from the cut itself, and also like you're not doing the cut right. Like you're not actually like minding your P's and Q's about like your nutrient intake. Like you can't get the nutrients in with that amount of calories. Like your diet isn't like ideal. Like you just haven't figured it out. Because when I was this body fat, I felt perfectly fine, and my performance was good. My strength was even good relative to my body weight. Now, obviously, if I get fat like this, I will lift more weight, but everything else will suffer, and I won't lift so much more weight that it's worth it. Maybe it is worth it if you're like a competitive weightlifter. Then yes, that will be worth it for you. But for most guys, that's not gonna be worth it. But yeah, another issue is of course that the picture is not great. Like there is another picture here. This is much better picture for me. This also makes it much clearer that the guy was not feeling great here, and he's obviously in a much better place. Like this is a healthy body. This is not a malnourished body. This is not anyway depleted. He's gonna have ideal hormone profile once he gets to the maintenance calories, or maybe he goes back to a bulk. He will have great hormone profile, much better than here. Excess fat aromatizes testosterone into estrogen. So this guy here has too much estrogen. This guy will have ideal hormone conditions, most likely. Like there is a lot of factors going on. You can't just look at someone's picture and know exactly what their health status is. But generally speaking, this guy the guy looking like this is gonna be in a much better place than guy looking like this. Like there's just no way that women would actually like prefer this physique. Like anybody who's looked like this, and I have, maybe not quite as bad as this, but close to it anyway. And I have looked something like this, or leaner in fact, but I probably didn't have like I don't think my muscles ever looked at aesthetic as this guy. Like he has great genetics, like very aesthetic, like shape of everything. and you know, decent, reasonable muscle mass too. It's like so it's like, but like this doesn't take that, it doesn't take that anything that crazy, you know. Nothing about this is so crazy either. It's like people are acting like you have to be like staring at yourself in the mirror all the time and like obsessing over diet. And you don't. You really don't. Oh, now, if you do it in 3 months, yes, then yes, you do need to obsess about your diet for that 3 months. But you know, my diet wasn't even that tight at any point, and I went to leaner than this guy. Okay, if you really get to like bodybuilder level of fat, which is like under 7%, like 5%, 3%. Then yeah, okay, you have to restrict yourself like really tight at right at the end there. But you know, to this level, this can be done with just you're just physically active and you don't have cheat food all the time. And you know, you have like thought about your diet a little. You might like restrict it a little, but you don't have to even go extremely low calories, especially if you are physically active. This is entirely attainable, especially for a young man. I don't know what this guy's age is, but if you're in your 20s, you should just look like this. You just straight up just should look like this. And you don't even need to be like a crazy gym guy. Like, this is just a healthy male who lives. That's all it is. Like, props to the guy. Like, it's a great transformation. But again, it shouldn't be like causing this kind of like reaction that people are, oh, he's obsessively disciplined. No. It doesn't take, you can look like this without being too obsessive about it. Obviously, it does need to be, like, you have to be intelligent about your training, so, like, it is much easier if you just spend a lot of time in the gym, and if you actually, like, get very strict about the diet. It will get much easier. But it doesn't. It's not. It's nothing crazy. Like, he doesn't have crazy big muscle mass. He's not crazily lean. He doesn't have like ab veins popping. Like, who was that guy who died? I don't know. But there was a bodybuilder that died who was like. I'll show you Helmut Strebel. That's the guy. Like, that's my go-to guy. Like, what's too lean? This is too lean. Right here, this guy is too lean. This is not gonna be sustainable. So is this guy too lean? Is this guy anything close to this guy? No, it's nowhere close. This guy, like, this is like essential fat. Like, we're talking like 3% or less. This is around 10, I would say, around 10%. If you would get a little bit rid of the belly fat and side fat, and he's, you know, he's lean, his legs, they're not that conditioned, so there's still body fat, quite a bit of body fat in his legs. Like, this is a very good distribution of fat to have, obviously. Like, you have visible abs while you still have like quite a bit of fat on your frame. So I mean, I don't think this guy is that depleted or anything. Like, he looks like he's feeling fine. Now, people are commenting about his hairline. I don't know. I think it's just a picture. It's the picture, like, making him look not so great. And, you know, people can't like assess the physique on its own. They look at the picture like here he looks. There's no difference in the hairline. The hairline is what it is. Like, I have a high hairline, but like whatever. It is not entirely in your own control as a male. Like, if your hairline is going up, then it's so be it. It's just it is what it is. Like, I don't know. And then people keep. That's another like thing that I need to address, is like the aesthetic thing about it. Like, okay, you do want to train, but it's part of the appeal of going for this physique is for the aesthetic of it. But you actually want this physique for performance and health reasons too. Like, this is just purely for aesthetic. This is unhealthy for you. This is like, you will be extremely weak at the gym. Your lifts have dropped dramatically at this point. At this point, you've lost maybe a few kilos from your list, just few. Like say you're lifting 130 kilos on one lift. You might be lifting only 125 now. But who cares? Like if that's 5 kilos, what does it matter if you're not competing? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference for your actual performance. Like your relative body weight strength is gonna be much better here. So your actual physical performance in any practical tasks is gonna be greatly improved. You'll have better endurance, and you just move your body much better. And athletes look more like this guy than this guy. And now obviously there is the point to address that maybe the ideal look is somewhere in between, and it probably is true. Now when he starts bulking from this and he adds like, I don't know, 5-10 pounds, that's probably gonna be the ideal look that he will have right there. So he's filled out, but he's still lean. And then, as the bulk goes on, he'll kind of lose that leanness. He'll still get bigger. Maybe some people prefer that. I mean, I don't know. Like to me, that's a completely moot point. Like the whole talk about like what women like is a complete distraction. Like I think everyone who's been fit knows that women like fit guys. Like I don't know why it's controversial to say so. And I don't know why they like to always say that they like the fat guys. I don't know. Like I'm not gonna speculate on the female psychology there. That's not the scope for this channel. The scope of this channel is just to talk about the fitness aspects. I'm like there's so much good information online about fitness nowadays. But the reason I want to make this video is because obviously there is still so much misguided people about like this, because they think that this guy's physique here is somehow like it takes some kind of crazy process to do, and it doesn't. You can just eat normal foods. You don't need to restrict yourself in a crazy amount. You just have bare basics, like okay, you control yourself. You're mindful about it. You don't go crazy, like, but you don't have to like refuse food if you're like in a party or something. That's not required. When I got down to my lowest body fat, which was much leaner than this guy, I still had a cheat meal every week. No problem. And I never went below 2,000 calories a day. Now, okay, I mean, that is still kind of tight when you're like training a lot. But again, I went too much leaner than this guy. So you don't need to do that if you're just going to this body fat here. You can still eat quite a bit. You don't need to live in the gym. You don't need to do. You just need to have bare basics of being physically active, lead an active lifestyle. Bare basics of control about your diet, and that you're not eating fucking junk food every day, drinking fucking chocolate milkshakes every day. Like it's just basics. Like you don't completely like go off the rails. And you just hold that consistently for a few months, or maybe even a couple of years. Like my initial cut took me 18 months, but I didn't do any other changes than switching to Diet Coke, not having cheat meals every day, and exercising a little bit more. That's all I did, and I lost 30 pounds. And I think anyone can do that. It doesn't require obsession. It doesn't require you to be vain. Like people are projecting such like negative narratives on this when he can't do. He just prances around and looks himself in the mirror, and he can't do housework or like yard work. But that's just projection on, like on their part. Like this does not lead to any acute like performance loss. Not any significant. Now, obviously, if you're losing body weight, you will lift a little bit less weight too. But you're not like hormonally compromised at this point yet. Anyway, yeah, I think I got like most of the stuff that I've been like. Maybe I'll just check what like the notifications are like. But yeah, it's like I was leaner than this guy, and I still ate ice cream because some the people are saying like, oh, this guy would refuse. He wouldn't even eat ice cream. Like, I don't know about what this guy's process specifically was. Obviously, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. So some people would, refuse the ice cream and all. But like I said, I had cheat meal every week, still even at the end. And I think leading up to the final weeks, I was having a couple of cheat meals a week. I'm a big believer that you should have like a higher calorie days during your diet to kind of keep your metabolism going a little bit more, so it doesn't just look completely like shut down while you're cutting, so that it's more gradual, that it slows down. I don't even know, it's like the guy was disciplined obviously and tried to I think another issue for women is like he looks try hard there, like he's trying, like, oh, check me out, I got muscles, which I don't think that's like so vain. Like, I think if you've done hard work and you've gotten a result, there's nothing wrong with showing it off. It doesn't make you vain, it doesn't make you narcissist. I don't think that bites. Like, there's, of course, a lot of bodybuilders are narcissists, yes, and self-obsessed and like vain. Yes, a lot of guys are like that. Yeah, sure. But if you've been lifting hard and you take a picture of the end result and like a comparison photo like this, I think you're well within your rights to, like. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your work. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your physique. It's just fucked up that like people are like coping with their own failures by trying to take down like guys who are actually like fit, and nobody gets more hate than I don't know, maybe some people. Like, it seems like pretty universal that if you're lean but smaller guy, you get so much hate. Like, even though it's fit and a healthy look to have. For some reason, like you just get hated on if you're a small guy. Like, everybody wants you to be 200 pounds, slightly pudgy, fat jacked kind of guy. Like gyms are full of guys who look like this. They're strong, they lift big, but they wouldn't actually do that great on sports. But they don't do any sports, so they don't have any context other than weightlifting. So all they look at is their lift numbers. They keep going up, so fine, everything's okay. But, obviously for health, your body composition does matter. Obviously for your health, your overall body weight will matter. For your performance, how well you move. There is going to be ideal weight for you, and that's not as heavy as possible. But yeah, I mean, obviously the big, strong guys are going to, like, cope with their own failures by, trying to take down this kind of guy. And, I'm not saying like that the skinny, lean is low guys are not coping in their own way too. Like, maybe there's cope on both sides, but but this is a great transformation. He looks way better afterwards than before. When people say they prefer the right side, the left side, they are not talking about the physique. Not really. They're talking about, like, this picture is not great, and he has great vibe. Like his vibes are better here than here. So I mean, people can't judge the physique for what it is. They judge other things. This picture is much more representative of the actual transformation, and he just looks way better on the right side. The after is just, and the idea like that's like there's been a lot of talk that. Okay, this guy would beat this guy in fight, and I can tell you, I'm a Muay Thai guy. I've been fat guy, I've been skinny guy. When you look at most elite fighters, they are actually pretty skinny, unless you're a wrestler like Daniel Cormier. The guy has a big gut, big fat guy. But his strategy is to lean on the other guy. He tries to grab on the other guy and put more weight on it. Okay, then the weight can work. But if you're somebody who's like trying to strike and be fast and move in and out, the skinny physique is actually much better. And like I'm gonna, my next video or one of my videos that I'm planning to do next is gonna be the sparring video that I had from a few weeks ago. I sparred a guy who's, I don't know, this tall, like up to 30 kilos smaller than me, but national youth champion, teenager who's 30 kilos smaller than me. He fucking lit me up. He beat me up. Because what good is strength if the other guy just maneuvers around you? It's no good. And same thing. If lean version of me was fighting a big lumbering fat version of me who lifts a little bit more but doesn't move so well, I would beat that guy. And that guy would gas out too, because he would, like, the only way you're that big is because if you've been neglecting cardio to some extent. So, yeah, I mean, people love to bring up the fat fighters, but that's comparing different guys to different guys. Most of the time, those fat fighters would still even be better if they were leaner. But it's at the heavyweight, the juice is not worth the squeeze for them, and I understand that. That's understandable. If you have a massive appetite and you're a 250-pound guy, yeah, why would you try to like get lean? It's even if it gave you a little bit performance benefit, like it's not worth the effort at that point. But yeah, this guy, like, if he had to fight, the Time Machine brought his old version to fight with him, he would win, because he's just alone on the conditioning. Like, this guy is gonna be much more conditioned than his fat version, who's just gonna be like gasping for air in 90 seconds. And people don't understand like how much conditioning fighting actually takes. But yeah, I mean, the idea that you being somehow fat makes you a better fighter because Fedor Emelianenko was better fighter as a fat guy, they just missed the whole point. Fedor Emelianenko was a great fighter because he was strong, he was skillful fighter, and he had that that cool head in the ring. He was tough. That's the kind of stuff that makes him good fighter, not because he had a flabby belly. That doesn't make him like. That's not the reason he was the fighter he was. I kind of branching off into many topics here, but I mean, I've heard so many ridiculous arguments here that, like my brother said, like, to me when I was cutting, that if you get stabbed, it's better to have fat. Like, okay, so I'm gonna like get like a chubby belly in case I get stabbed, and have to suffer with that extra 30 pounds of weight for like next 20 years, and then drop dead in a heart attack because my metabolism wasn't healthy. And it's like, okay, I'm making up a scenario too. Like, these guys are making up scenarios, but I'm making up a scenario too. But which is actually more common, heart attack at 50 or getting stabbed? Heart attack at 50. Most people do get it. And like, I think my primary misunderstanding is that people don't understand where the unhealthy already starts. Because everybody everywhere is so unhealthy. We have gotten collectively so fat that what we consider normal is already fat. It might not be like massively fat, but it's still already a little bit. Like, people fight so much against BMI, but BMI is actually still perfectly fine. It's just most people don't fit in the BMI because they're eating too much. Like, we've gotten fat, and it's like, oh no, everybody can't be overweight. Actually, yes, we can, because we live in a fucking prosperous society where there's plenty of food, and most of us don't exercise at all. So it's actually like not that. It doesn't take a big leap of imagination to think that we've all collectively gotten fat. And then there's the memes like 200 pounds, you're not a man if you're not 200, or you have victim weight if you're not less than 200 pounds. Those also add to that, like, that delusion of how big we're supposed to be. And for an average height guy, if you're 200 pounds, you're extremely likely to be overweight. You're just fat, Are there some bodybuilders who are like average height and 200 pounds and still lean? Oh, sure. Especially steroid users. Maybe some like genetic freak naturals too. But exceedingly rare guys. Like, you're not gonna be that guy. You're just overweight if you're that big. I was 200 pounds and I thought I was jacked. But then finally the realization dawned in that this is already actually fat. Like, this is already like metabolically over fat. Like, you don't want to look like this. I mean, it might look fine. Like I said, everybody is fat, so everybody perceives that as to be just fine. But I guess that's my primary point here that I'm gonna end this video, is like, you don't do this for aesthetics. You don't do this because you think women find you attractive. You do this to optimize your performance and health. And maybe you don't believe me, but then that's fair enough. But like, try it. Maybe for you it doesn't work. Some people it doesn't work. Maybe they don't do it right, or maybe they genuinely just their body just can't handle being that lean. It happens. Like we are all individuals. There's no hard rules really. But I found that I could be much leaner than I thought I could be, and I still feel fine. I'm pretty sure this guy feels fine at this leanness, and I think vast majority of people are gonna be feeling just fine if they're lean. So I mean, my advice is, like I said in the previous lean bulk versus cut video, is that get lean first. Get actually find out where your bottom is. Where and it might involve you getting extremely skinny, and people may make fun of you. Such is life, But we're not doing this for attractiveness' sake. We're not doing it for vanity reasons. Now, obviously, vanity can be part of it. But even if you think women are more attracted to like a higher body fat person than this, you still want to get lean first. You want to still find that point where you find out the different data points along the way. Like, okay, how is my performance here? How is it here? How is it here? And then you find okay, I feel a little low energy here already. Like I don't feel so great. And my lifts have the workouts have been sucking lately. Like, okay, you found your bottom, and now you just start bulking again. You're gonna be in such a great conditions to build muscle from there on that you can put on the 20-30 pounds back. If you really believe that this look is the superior one, you can still get back there and you build more muscle, and you'll be in a much better place. And you might stop a little short from this. I guarantee you, even if you don't think this is better, like the best is still gonna be leaner than this. So take it as what you will. But yeah, I mean, even for fighters, like if you see a guy be built like this, and he's sometimes been looking like this on the scale, you think that the guy has not shown up in the training. Like you think he's not in shape. Like it's usually that's the case. Like it's not that people are like, oh, look at how fat he is. He must be in a great condition to fight right now. Nobody thinks like that. It's just we notice when a fat guy wins championship or whatever, we notice that, oh look, he's built like me. That build is a superior build. But no, it's just the man was the superior man, and he just happened to be built how he is. Like if you're tough and strong and big, well, you're fucking 7 feet tall, it doesn't matter how much body fat you're carrying. You'll still be extremely hard guy to fight with. But I mean, this is not really about fighting. Since this guy's not a fighter, he's just a guy who lives. He's just a healthy guy who lives. I keep repeating that. This is what healthy guy who lives looks like. This is not bodybuilder. Now, okay, he might do bodybuilding style training, as do I, me too. But that doesn't mean that he is equivalent of those guys, that he trains to the extent that they do and obsesses over his leanness to that point. That you don't have to get so super obsessive at this point. See, it's projection when you think that like that. I kept hearing that too when I was cutting. It's like, oh, you're just staring at yourself in the mirror all the time. But the mirror stuff is primarily actually for that data points, because the visuals that's changing is actually very good, strong data point. And especially when you don't have access to body fat scans and stuff like that. That stuff is invaluable, for assessing your progress. But people will look at that and think it's narcissism or vanity, but it is what it is. I mean, it doesn't bother me. For me, I just love I just love the process of fitness. I just love figuring it out and seeing that improvement. But I mean, I don't know. People just think that the muscles should just fall from the sky on your frame, and you shouldn't have to go to the gym for it, or obsess about. See, the thing, even counting calories, Like people think that that's obsessive already. Like, oh, you're so like, oh, you count all your calories. But once you get to the habit, it takes like 5 seconds. You just have an app on your phone, and you just type it in, and you just and that's it. You don't have to obsess over it. You just adopt a new quick habit before your mealtime to weigh the food and then type it in. It doesn't take obsession. I wish I was obsessive. I would have much better physique than what I have now if I was obsessive. See, the whole point about this is like my channel is that like I've never put in that much effort. I've never worked that hard. I've never been that disciplined. But I mean, I have physique, at best at least, have physique that's about on par with this. So it's like, and people are freaking out that, okay, this guy has to be like obsessive and like it's just so incorrect narrative. I don't know. I'm a minute up repeating myself, so I'm gonna end this video. But like, me being too lean, like longevity. Like this is not so lean that it's gonna reduce your lifespan. This is not so lean. That's the person. Like people see this and like the guy is malnourished, but he's too skinny. No, he's not too skinny. We just we just never see like anyone who's fit anymore, fit and healthy. It's become so exceedingly rare that when we see it, we think it's too undernourished. It's too skinny. But I mean, if this is 10% body fat, the dude has still like 5-6 kilos of fat on his frame. It's like, oh, if there's a starvation situation, you're gonna die faster than the chubby guy. Probably not. I mean, 5 kilos of fat is what? Something like 40,000 calories? 35,000 at least? You're gonna survive for weeks of that. We're gonna all die. Like if we really hit apocalypse scenario, we're gonna all die of lack of clean water first. Way before we starve to death. Like, this is not actually that close to starvation death. This is close to starvation death. And people are conflating these two physique. It's clear people are conflating the two. But like you have to be able to distinguish between the two, and this is just healthy. This is just great. Anybody can look like this. Maybe not with as much muscle mass, but either way. You can look like this. And I don't think the muscle mass is unattainable either, but it might, depending on your genetics, it might take you years to get there. So, some guys will get there like pretty much immediately, like they hyper respond to training and immediately have muscles, like pretty soon, like just a few months training. And some guys will just have slow progress and it takes years, but everybody can get to this physique. It's not unattainable. It doesn't take steroids. It doesn't take crazy discipline. As long as you're willing to take the time, it doesn't take anything crazy. Now, if you want to do it in 3 months from this fat guy, then yes, you do need to do extreme measures. But if you're just willing to take the time and actually establish like a long-term process, it doesn't take anything crazy. You can still live your life. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm sure people will have comments if somebody watches this, but of course, leave it. I'm kind of tired of discussing this topic, but I'm obviously passionate about it because it just bothers me that people are so uninformed. But I mean, I guess it's not surprising if you never exercise yourself, if you never dieted yourself. I mean, it's not so like you kind of go off perceptions, and those perceptions can be kind of like completely wrong. But this is because this is something I've experienced myself, like the whole process of cutting multiple times, and I know like this is not that difficult. So it irks me that guys, like people are insulting his discipline as if it's a bad thing, and like suggesting that this takes some crazy amount of like work, and like it is impressive, it is good, like his progress is great, but this is not unattainably good. This is just solid work. Healthy male who lifts. You should look like this. This should be your goal if you don't look like this. You have work to do if you don't look at least like this. You know, obviously if you're at the end of a bulk, sure, fair enough. You should be a little soft. But you know, at least most of the time you should be close to this look. You know, a little bit softer is okay. But a little bit leaner is also okay. That's the thing. It's not so lean that you can't get leaner and sustain that too. So especially if you're one of those guys who has solid genetics for that. Anyway, I think that's it for me today, and see you next time.